Let's get to the bottom of this and find out what links these rooms together.
And while we're at it, let's go ahead and clean up everything.
Looks like someone grew tired of looking at your face, Mr. Beaumont. He's all but outright threatening you. Oh, I hope you can stay as far away from him as possible.
I just met with your damn lawyer. You've got some balls to accuse me of all that. As if you were so irreproachable yourself. Do you think I don't know where you spend your nights? But worst of all is that you won't let me see my son. You won't even tell me where he is. If you think you have a chance to get custody, you really don't know me well. I won't let you take Michael away from me. Is there anything on the back? Some more lipstick. The White Cat Bar and Restaurant, 1249, Metcalfe, Montreal, Canada.
Mr. Cruz, huh?
All-American Fire and Life Insurance. Hector Cruz. Okay. The winds and the leaves that day made a sound that sounded like really Ann? The winds and the leaves that day made the tree whistle a soft melody. They came into my ear. I remember every part of this day, for it was the day we met. Jesus, this is bad. I was looking for my cat when I heard the sound of leaves blowing in the wind, like a melody in my ear, on this summer day where I met you. It's like a little love note, a little love poem.
Ah, that's so sweet. I didn't do much, but I'm glad it meant something to you.
Dear Sophie, thank you so much for taking care of our room every day and bringing us extra sheets. Michael and I wanted to give you a little something before we left. Sincerely, A.
Those few coins in my tip jar were getting pretty lonely. They'll appreciate the company. That look in your eyes. What does it mean? And who is this from?
Don't need to know my name, but you see me. I've recognized that look in your eyes when you checked in. You and I don't need to make a fuss out of this. You keep your wits about you, and I'll do the same. To all reception staff.
Either a guest got a hold of our stationery, or this came from someone on the staff.
Alright, so I need 2 keys.
Locked. The key has to be around here somewhere. So a husband can abuse his wife and just get away with it? And people like Linda still think divorce is wrong? Ugh.
I've met with Lewis, and he has asked me to give you the enclosed letter. I think I should reiterate that some of your accusations, such as wife abuse, are not grounds for divorce in Quebec. I understand you are hurt, but I do not think antagonizing your husband is very wise at the moment. Do not forget to be in court at 11 a.m. on the 20th. Be on time. Also, a friendly reminder that my fees for January need to be paid before the end of this month. I am happy to help you out, but I cannot work pro bono on this. Sincerely, Howard. Another Holy Bible. that chutes and ladders on the bed? Heck yeah. Adam or Eve? Can she resist the ultimate temptation? A heartbreaking decision. Should Rose stay in the marriage that no longer makes her happy? Or seek refuge in the arms of the woman who truly understands her? She has tasted the forbidden fruit years ago, and now she is all she can think of. But what will her family and society as a whole think of her if she turns to a life of sin? Should she be condemned for even entertaining the thought of leaving her husband, or pitied for having to make such a heartbreaking decision?
Funny how some games really stand the test of time. I used to play this with Mom all the time. Oh, Michael. Adults can be so confusing. I promise it's not you.
Dad, I'm sorry, but Mom asked me not to tell you the name of our hotel. She allowed me to talk about our room, though. We have 2 little beds, a radio, and a television. Mom let me build a fort, and the maid brought us extra blankets. She's really nice. The hotel is nice too, but I miss home. I wish Mom and you could be happy, and I wish everything could go back to the way it was before, but Mom says it's impossible. She says she no longer loves you. Do you think she'll ever stop loving me too? Michael. Ah, poor kid. Nah, yeah, I remember growing up, my parents, they were having a lot of arguments at the time. And, you know, I don't know why kids immediately think this, but I sure as shit did, and I thought I was the problem just because I was just getting in a lot of trouble at school. You know, it was during the time where I went from like advanced placement and, you know, transferred schools, and in between then the schools lost my paperwork, so I had to go back to the regular classes and everything. So I was smart enough to realize, like, hey, I gotta adapt to my new environment. So I started, you know, talking more in class just because I'd finish all my work well before everybody else. So I was just bored, and I was like, oh, you know, all the cool kids, they talk in class, yada yada. So I kept getting in trouble. Parents kept getting into arguments and everything, and I was just like, well, if I wasn't here, I think they'd be more happy. So this is how you know I was a '90s kid. I got just a broom stick. Got like a bandana or like a blanket. Put in like some food and drinks. Put in like a knife so I could, like, you know, use like bushcraft stuff with. Tie it up onto the stick, and I just left a note on the kitchen dining table and just left the house. Went up to the woods. I was just like, well, I'll go somewhere that I know, you know, which is like a mile from the house in the woods, and I'll camp there tonight, and I'll figure out my next moves in the morning. Yeah, needless to say, my dad found me like almost immediately, and, you know, same thing that Sophie did. And just, you know, reassured the child that, you know, they're not the reason why grown folks are having grown folk issues, you know.
So you were eager to set up a meeting, but didn't want anyone noticing.
I hope you are well in spite of the circumstances. We've been on the train for 2 days now. It's a long ride, maybe even longer by the fact I cannot wait to see you again. We are scheduled to arrive in Montreal on the eve of Valentine's Day. I booked room 509. It's a marital suite. When we arrive, please refrain from talking to me until we can figure out a safe way to see each other. Say hello to Michael for me. M. Miss Beaumont. Clarington Hotel, blah blah blah.
Did Marcella send this? You know the drill, Sophie. Let's sweep and snoop.
To Anne Bursey. Michael's withdrawal from school. Dear Miss Bursey, we have successfully processed your request to withdraw your son, Michael Bursey, from his school schedule and system under the agreement that you will continue his education from home. Following this letter, you will receive the list of books and school materials you need to purchase in order to follow the curriculum from home. A social worker will be in touch to help you understand our milestones so that your son can benefit from our programs from the comfort of his home. Thank you for thinking of your son's education. Director Donald Byron. Oh, is that the key?
Aha!
Yep.
Keys are Snoop's best friend. Sounds like this is from your school days, but the name of the sender is smudged.
Dear Anne, you were right. I missed the snow already. It's so hot right now in Texas. It's quite a shock after the cold weather of Montreal. My family has never seen snow before, and I could not find the words to tell them how beautiful it is. They don't understand what they're missing. I wish I could build my brothers a snowman like the one we built together a few weeks ago. I know it's childish, but I had not had that much fun in years. Christmas was exhausting. 9 days of eating, singing, dancing. It's great fun. But I am glad it's over so I can rest a little. Of course, celebrations will resume for New Year, but it gives me a few days to relax. How are things going with your family? Okay, so yeah, it's just two friends catching up. Okay. Alright, now we've got the key, so let's go ahead and... so
I'll
it's
need
two.
another key to unlock this. Haven't I seen one just like this somewhere?
Frost Pups. Do 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 do.
You almost look like Marcella. That key looks so familiar. Why do I associate it with room 505?
Okay, well, let me go back. 'Cause apparently that's where I saw it.
Ah, there you are. With Marcella. God knows where she is.
Clarington Hotel reception desk, Beth speaking.
Hey, Beth.
Bean, I've been meaning to speak with you.
Oh, about what?
Well, a little birdie told me Mr. Morgan and Mr. Cruz had an argument yesterday evening.
Really? Who's your little birdie?
Jacques. Apparently it got so heated he had to get involved. And listen to this. It sounds like I was on the right track, 'cause he heard a particular word thrown around quite a lot. Wanna guess what it is?
Blackmail?
No, that was your theory, remember? It's affair.
Affair? Did Jack hear anything else?
From what he told me, it seemed like Mr. Cruz was accusing Mr. Morgan of having an affair with his wife. Wouldn't have expected Mrs. Cruz to fall for a man like Morgan, but I guess the heart wants what the heart wants.
Maybe, but that doesn't explain Mrs. Beaumont's involvement with Mrs. Cruz.
What do you mean?
I found a chest in room 507. I think it can only be opened by turning 2 keys at once. I found one of them in Mrs. Beaumont's things.
Oh, and the other one?
Well, I remembered seeing a similar key in one of Mr. Morgan's stocking pictures, so I went back to check. Mrs. Cruz wears it as a pendant. It looks identical to Mrs. Beaumont's key.
Wait, so Mrs. Beaumont and Mrs. Cruz own identical keys that are both needed to open a mysterious chest? Yeah, there's definitely something going on here.
Yeah, but the answers probably lie in that chest, and I don't think I'll be able to open it. I've looked around room 509. I would have seen the second key if it was there. Mrs. Cruz must have left with it this morning.
Yeah.
We were so close. I can't believe it all ends here.
Well, hold on. I may have an idea. Get me a candle and some plaster, and maybe I can do something about that pesky chest.
How?
I'll tell you later. Just find me those things, and I'll meet you in the basement as soon as I manage to leave my post.
All right. Thank you for not giving up.
Come on, you know I wouldn't let you down.
Plaster and candles. Well, half the hotel's under renovation. I should be able to find plaster somewhere around here.
Alright, gotta find some. Oh, I could probably go down here to the janitor's closet. Let me grab the key while I'm thinking about it. If I can. Okay. No, I still have it in my inventory.
I'm sure I'll find more laundry to add to the pile. Great! This takes care of half of this little scavenger hunt. As for the candles, doesn't Rebecca keep some in her locker downstairs?
So just imagine in real life, she would just be walking around with a bag of plaster. So yes, yes. Because that's not inconspicuous at all. Rebecca. That's Andrew. I don't know how to pronounce that. Bobby. Jean. What about down here? Jacques. Anthony.
It's locked.
I was just curious. Oh, there's more in here. I should put you place master key. Wendy, Jenny. Ah, there we go.
It's locked.
Oh, Rebecca.
So you do have a stash of candles. But where is it?
The kitchen's out of power again, and I can barely see a thing. Bernard wants us to continue working, but I'm not risking chopping off my fingers for that blowhard. Didn't you start hoarding candles since the last power outage? I remember you saying you never wanted to be caught in the dark basement again. Where's your stash? It's urgent. Please, Bobby. So I wonder if Bobby has it. Has it now? Where did I see Bobby's locker? I think his is out here. Yep, right here.
No candles, but this looks like the laundry room.
So maybe he kept him in the laundry room?
Oh, right. My keys are still in the break room.
Can I go in? I wonder if the... Okay, cool, the break room's open. Ah, there it is. Oh my god. Pick it up, thank you.
Hold on to these tight.
What was that? Rebecca, the washing machines are not broken. The problem comes from the pipes. They're completely frozen. It's only a matter of time before they burst and flood the entire basement. I've warned Bernard about the issue last winter, but of course he only cares about renovating the parts of the hotel the guests can see. Behind that nice facade, everything is crumbling. I'll see what I can do, but it's not maintenance we need. It's a freaking miracle. Eugene. Oh yeah, that's how it be. When you got someone that cares more about appearances and trying to draw in large clientele than actually providing the guests a good experience, and as well as making sure that their staff has everything that they need and they're prepared and taken care of. So it must be in one of these drawers. Candles, where are you? 'Cause I'm so sorry. Archer. Here they are.
Got a candle. Now, what next? Let's see if Beth is around.
There you are.
I'm not sure I understand what the plan is here.
Well, when I was little, we had padlocks on many of the farm's sheds. My dad would always lose the keys, so one day he made a mold of them using wax and plaster. I was thinking of doing the same.
Are you sure it's gonna work?
Absolutely not. But hey, I guess we won't know until we try.
Yeah, you're right.
So let's do this. Okay, to start, we need to pour the wax from the pot. Have you done this before? You're a real pro. Now, time to put the key into the wax. Let's give it a few seconds, so the mold really takes form. Okay, I think you can remove it. Well, we're almost there. Just pour the cup of plaster into the mold. All right, now we wait for it to dry.
How long do you think it's gonna take?
I don't know. I guess we'll keep poking it every now and then.
I bet you didn't think you'd be making a plaster key today, huh?
Indeed. But I like it. It's rare that this job allows me to use my creative side.
Your creative side?
Well, granted, this key won't end up in any museum, but I enjoy the occasional artistic endeavor.
Like drawing?
Oh, God, no. I once drew a dress that everyone mistook for a birthday hat. I never drew again after that. What about you? Haven't I seen you drawing in that journal of yours?
Yeah, I doodle a little.
Hey, you should show me one day. I'd love to see your art.
I wouldn't call it art.
Oh, I'm sure you're underestimating yourself.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm not.
All right, then. I won't insist. What do you like to draw, anyway?
It's kind of silly, but I've started working on this little comic in which I imagine my life as a celebrity.
A celebrity?
Yeah. I've always found the lives of famous people so fascinating, you know? And I kind of envy them sometimes. All the drama, the excitement.
Yeah, because we're really lacking in drama and excitement today.
Well, today's the exception.
I'm sure there's something else in your life that excites you.
Well, I do like sailing.
Excuse me? You sail? On a boat?
I used to, with my grandpa. But when he died, we had to sell the boat to pay off his debts.
Oh, that's too bad. I would have loved to go with you.
Ooh, we get another flirt interaction.
Maybe it'd be possible to borrow a boat for a day. I think one of Grandpa's friends still has his.
Really? That would be great. I just love trying new things.
I'll see what
Wink,
I can
wink.
do.
Hey, look. I think it's dry.
I can't believe it worked. I could not have done this without you.
Yeah, probably not. Well, I should get back upstairs before Bernard notices my absence, if he hasn't already. Let me know how it goes with the key. Oh, and be careful while turning it, okay? You wouldn't want it to break inside the lock.
Yeah, I'll be careful. Thank you for everything.
No problem.
We should probably get rid of the evidence, by the way. Oh, okay. Hey. Your boy Smart over here. He has done many a snoop before. Which, I don't know if you guys have seen my finale for Nobody Wants to Die. I thought I was going to get, like, the best ending. Because, you know, every time I reconstructed the scene, I always set it back. So I'm just like, no one knows I did this. But apparently not. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you just gonna have to watch the series. Was it 507, I believe? Yeah, okay. Alright, let's do this. Let's see what's in this chest. Bam,
Be
bam.
careful, Sophie. You don't want this key to break.
Okay, I gotta hold it. Ah! There we go. Oh, was it a music box too?
Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. Her alliterative name will surely take you back. These two sure love their riddles.
In Atlanta, I noticed yours was pretty worn down, so I decided to buy a new one. I hope you like it, and since you enjoy them so much, here's a little puzzle to figure out the combination. 2 5-letter words are the key, both related to our history. Unlike my favorite bar, this one is black. Her alternative name will surely take you back. From the first one, take the first 2. From the last one, take the last 2. Interesting. Okay, so 2 5-letter words related to their history. Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. Return of name will surely take you back. Okay. I hope you get better. Try to rest today. I will bring you hot soup after class. In.
There's a lot of stuff in here. I don't think I've looked at everything yet.
There we go.
Huh. Marcella invited you to the movies. Let me guess. You said yes.
The Postman Always Rings Twice is playing at Lowe's Theater tonight. It's based on a novel I read a while back. I am sure you would love it, seeing as you like crime stories and murders so much. Nothing criminal about that. Will you come with me? $0.25 movies. Shh, I wish. I can barely listen to Sister Miller's lecture today in secret language. All I do is look at your lips and imagine kissing you. I can't wait for tonight. August 11th, 1946. Dear Anne, I've just heard Doris Day on the radio, and it made me think of you. I know how much you love Sentimental Journey. Count every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Last time I was in Texas, it felt like coming home. Now, strangely, I feel away from home. I wish you were here with me. I always feel at home in your arms. I can hardly believe it has been 5 weeks since we last saw each other. Sometimes I wonder if I might be going crazy. You are always in my head. Everything reminds me of you. Not only songs on the radio, but silly things like the flowers in our garden that smell of your shampoo, or when people say the word darling. I can hear you say it with your lovely French accent. Darling. Sorry, that was terrible. My family seems to have noticed my odd behavior, but of course I cannot tell them about you, even though I wish I could. I feel like climbing on the roof of the tallest building in Austin and shouting my feelings for you at the top of my lungs. God, I sound like a giddy teenager in love for the very first time. Maybe I am. Sometimes I'm scared that all this time with you was nothing but a dream too good to be true. I'm afraid that when I return to Montreal, I will realize you never existed, or if you do exist, you don't remember me. I wish I had a picture of the two of us, so I'd know for sure it was real. I long for your embrace and taste of your sweet lips. I love you, M.
Doris Day. That's an alliteration, isn't it? Doris. I-S.
They look like a cute couple. Dear Anne, I am sorry it took me so long to answer your last letter. It has been 6 months already since I left Montreal. As you always say, le temps passe si vite. My parents are glad I am done with my studies. They always thought it was a struggle. It was a strange idea for me to go to university. Now they want me to find a husband and have children like any other woman. I think I will. These past few months, I had a lot of time to reflect on our relationship. You know my feelings for you, and I hope you never forget how much I love you. But we cannot hide our heads in the sand any longer. We were lucky our story lasted as long as it did, and foolish to think it would last forever. Our love is forbidden, and hiding it from my family is proving more and more difficult every day. You will always have a special place in my heart, but I believe it is time for us to go our separate ways. Oof. You made me feel like a teenager. You made everything but the present disappear. Now I need to be an adult and think about the future. Sincerely, M. And that's everything. Oh, I don't want to open it. I wanted to lock her back up.
That riddle's a toughie. Maybe I need a fresh pair of eyes on it.
Clarington Hotel reception desk. Beth speaking.
Hey, Beth. Got a minute?
For you, always, Bean.
I opened the chest in room 507.
You did? Damn, I have to admit I didn't really believe in our little plaster key, but way to go.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised as well. It's quite sturdy.
So, spill it. What's in the chest?
A riddle.
A riddle?
I think it was written by Mrs. Beaumont for Mrs. Cruz. And I think the answer will give me the combination for a case I found in room 509. I could use your help with it, though.
Oh, God, I hate riddles. Well, let's hear it. Which part is causing you trouble?
Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. Do you know what this could mean?
You said Mrs. Beaumont wrote the riddle, right?
Yeah, but I have no idea what her favorite bar is.
I think I do.
Really? How?
That's a story for another time. But if I had to bet, I'd put my money on the white cat.
The white cat. I'm not sure I get it.
Well, if I'm right about the white cat, then we're looking for...
A black cat.
Yep.
Uh,
Why don't you
oh,
look around to
this
see if
one's
there's
black.
any mention of a black cat in Mrs. Beaumont's stuff?
Okay, I will. You're not too bad at riddles, you know?
I never said I was bad at them, just that I hate them. Is there anything else?
Oh, nice.
Here's another one. Her alliterative name will surely take you back.
Jesus.
Alliterative
I,
what
I
now?
thought it was alternate.
Andrew, you're a nerd. What's alliterative?
Hey, just because I read books doesn't mean I know everything.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It's a series of words that start with the same sound or letters.
Thank you, darling. Did you get that, Bean?
Yeah, I did. But that could mean a lot of things. I'm not sure where to look.
Yeah, me neither.
Tell her to look for a name and surname that both start with the same letter. Maybe
Oh, Doris
someone
Day.
famous, like a writer or a singer.
Huh. You got that?
Yes. Thank him for me.
Will do. Anything else I can help you with?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Don't mention it. I'm just glad I could be of some help. Call me after you've opened that case.
You know I will. Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. Her alliterative name will surely take you back. These two sure love their riddles.
So, do I go? Where do I go?
Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. Her alliterative name will surely take you back. These two sure love their riddles.
Oh, I can open the closets. Sorry, everyone. Just trying to figure out where we could have seen something about a black cat. I don't think it's in here. Apparently there's I think there's a safe in here? Or a chest? What's this? Okay, no.
SW. Looks like you had a few appointments with him, Mr. Cruz. Or her. SW. Looks like you had a few appointments with him, Mr. Cruz. Or her.
Okay, yeah. So that's not it. Black cat, black cat. I'm losing my marbles. Is there an I? Yeah. I don't think there's a D though. Yeah, okay.
These pearls, they look absolutely gorgeous on you. Though, I bet you could make anything look good.
Yes, hide the evidence. I almost forgot. Okay, so man, what are we missing here? What are we missing? Check there. Yeah, we checked in here. Oh, that was like, what was her name? Linda?
I'm sure I'll find more laundry to add to the pile. Oh boy, someone's been living it up. Another fan of the Gossiper. I never did finish that article from this morning. That feels like so long ago now.
Did you really just scold us for talking? These Montreal cab drivers, I swear. I know. Thought he'd appreciate us trying to make conversation. Thank God for good old-fashioned pen and paper, at least. Yeah, it takes me back. At least Sister Gabrielle isn't here to confiscate them anymore. Montreal Tourism Association, no.
Not exactly a cherished gift, if you just left it behind like this.
My dear beloved Leanne, much as I would have loved to spend this Valentine's Day with the woman who's about to become my Miss Hubert, I'll happily make do with the lifetime of Valentine's Days awaiting us. Enjoy your week in Montreal. I'll be eagerly waiting your return and the start of our new life together. Love, Gregory. P.S. Don't let Simone rope you into anything crazy. Tell her I need my bride back in one piece. It is. It is gonna be it. Okay. Never mind. Just in case. Okay, no, yeah. So yeah, it's gotta be something like that. So, I need it. IS? Gris? There we go. Let's go, baby! Only took us forever. Ah, typewriter.
That novelist, Bridget Boswell, is actually you, Marcella?
Dear Marcella, or should I say Brigitte? You know I prefer a good old crime story, but last week I came upon a romance novel with an intriguing title, and they were roommates. I bought it on impulse at a train station and read it from cover to cover during the journey. Can you imagine my surprise when I realized our story? You may have changed the names and locations, but all of our moments are there. Our endless discussions in the dorm room, our first date at the theater, our trip to Quebec City. You often said writers have thieves, but I never fully understood until now. It has been almost 10 years since I received your last letter, the letter that painted our relationship as nothing more than a summer fling. At first, I could not believe you had written those words. Then I waited in vain for your answer and had to accept your love for me had never been real. For many years, I was brokenhearted, angry, confused. I questioned the nature of our feelings, of our attraction, and made many wrong decisions. But this book, your book, I am foolish to think it's proof you really loved me. In any case, I hope you are well, and I am happy to see you accomplished your dream of becoming a writer. Tris Sincerement, A.
Oh, Anne. Murder might be a bit much, but you deserve some kind of justice.
Dear Marcella, I didn't expect you to reply to my letter. but I'm happy to see I was wrong. Your words have comforted me in a time of great distress. If only Louis was half the man you say Hector is. He has quite a temper and hits me frequently. I'm willing to put up with it as long as he doesn't hurt Michael, but there are some days when it becomes almost unbearable. The other day, I dreamt of our first date when we were watching The Postman Only Rings Twice again, but suddenly we were in the movie. You were Lana Turner and I was John Garfield, and we were both plotting to kill my husband. I hate to admit it, but I almost hope it was premonitory. To answer your question, I do still have our box. My brother is currently in Atlanta for work, and I was thinking of going to see him with Michael next month. If you are able to meet me there, we could open the box together and laugh at the silly things we thought important all those years ago. Oh, hope to hear from you soon. P.S. Do you remember that secret language we invented so Sister Miller couldn't understand the notes we passed during her class? In secret, I still do.
I do like a happy ending. I just hope that's where your story is headed.
Dear Marcella, thank you for sending me a signed version of your latest novel. I think it's your greatest work yet, but I do have a few comments to help make the next one even better. First, I believe Rose should be more concerned with what she deserves than what her husband deserves. He may not deserve the pain she will cause by leaving him, but they both deserve to be happy. And they won't be as long as they remain together, as long as she doesn't listen to her own needs. Also, I think it would be great if your next novel ended on a more positive note. Imagine if Rose left her husband and rode into the sunset with Eve. Imagine if they went to New York or Los Angeles, someplace where people like us are tolerated. Imagine if they got to have their happy ending. It would be the best story ever. I hope you will consider it. P.S. I know you say invisibility protects us, but don't you just wish to be seen sometimes? Wouldn't you like people to know you are Brigitte Boswell? To recognize you on the street? To recognize you for your work? Why not publish your next novel under your own name?
Oh, so you came to Montreal under the pretense of celebrating your wedding anniversary, but all along, you meant to reunite with Anne.
I left the house, I left Louis. I couldn't take it anymore, I couldn't lie anymore. How do you do it? How do you manage to live a double life? To hide your work and your novels from your husband? That's so much less to hide, and yet Michael and I are staying at the Clarington Hotel until we find a place to stay and the divorce is done. I don't know how long it will take. Could you come and see me in Montreal? I really need you by my side right now. I wouldn't put it past Louis to scour every hotel guest book in the region looking for me under his surname, so I've registered under the name Beaumont.
After all this, turns out you're a fan of Bridget? Of Marcella? That's a lot sweeter than I expected.
So you don't know me, I think I can safely say I'm your biggest fan. Your novels have literally changed my life. After the war, I spent almost 10 years in a psychiatric hospital because of panic attacks. None of the treatments were working, and I wasn't getting any better. I became friends with one of the nurses who started lending me books so I could pass the time. I didn't really like the first ones, but then I picked up Brigitte Boswell's first novel, your novel. I had never read such a beautiful love story. It almost brought tears to my eyes. I immediately urged the nurse to get me more of your books. Believe it or not, the more I read them, the less panic attacks I had. The doctors thought it was their new medication finally working, but I knew the truth. Your novels gave me the courage to get in contact with Lindsay, a friend from the war. I had always felt for him the same way your characters feel for each other, but I had never dared telling him. Now I have, thanks to you. The thought of seeing him again is what motivated me to get better and leave the hospital. I hope to hear back from him soon. After my discharge, I wanted to thank you for everything you've done for me. I've discovered Brigitte was a pseudonym, so tracking you down took longer than I thought. Fortunately, I'm a very patient and resourceful man, and I never give up. Do you think we can meet? I have so much more to tell you. Paul.
I'm glad you were able to open up to Marcella like this. Everyone needs someone to talk to.
Thank you for answering my letter. I've realized now how unsettling it must have been for you. Please forgive me for tricking your editor into giving me your address. I know I shouldn't have done that. I wanted to thank you as well for your encouraging words concerning Lindsay. I still haven't heard from him, and I'm starting to fear I might have the wrong address. I wish I could take a train to Virginia, but that's not an option right now, as I can barely pay the rent. I guess I will have to find a job. As a kid, I dreamt of being an actor, a Hollywood star. I know it's a foolish dream, but what else can I do? What am I good at? I've tried getting some odd jobs already, but employers turn me down as soon as they learn where I've spent the last 10 years of my life. If it continues like this, I'll probably end up on the street like so many of my army buddies. Why am I even telling you all this? After reading your books and getting to know you through them, I tend to forget I'm only a stranger to you. I hope you don't mind. You seem to be a good listener, and I've been feeling rather lonely ever since I left the hospital. Anyway, please tell me more about your life. I do not hesitate to write long letters. I must have read your previous one 1,000 times already.
An advance on my salary. So Marcella hired you. But what for?
I've just received a letter from Lindsay's mother. She tells me he's dead. Words cannot even begin to describe how empty I feel. He died 2 years ago. Before I even sent my first letter, he will never know my feelings for him, and I will never know if he could have loved me back. I guess I should have known this would end up in pain, just like your novels. I wish I had Lindsay's ability to find beauty everywhere. Even during the war, amidst the death and chaos, he would marvel at the forests of Germany, at the sun, the birds. He loved birds so much. He could identify them just by listening to their song. I have to admit, your proposition took me by surprise. I was hesitant to leave home at first. I was afraid to miss Lindsay's answer. But now there's nothing keeping me here. I'm desperate for anything that will help me forget the pain, but I don't have enough money to make it to Texas. Do you think you could give me an advance of my salary? In spite of everything, I'm really excited to know I'll finally meet you, Paul. So it looks like Marcella hired Paul as a PI, most likely to...
Oh, Lindsay's a man. Yeah, I guess it was presumptuous of me to think otherwise.
So, let me get this straight. Mrs. Beaumont and Mrs. Cruz are some kind of star-crossed lovers?
Seems like it, yeah. But I'm not sure whether they chose to meet here just to reconnect for a few days, or if there's something more to it.
Well, I may be able to help with that.
Really? How?
Oh, some mail arrived earlier for Mrs. Beaumont.
I wonder what's in it.
We could open it.
I mean, that's kinda illegal.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Well, too late. I've always known I would end up in...
I love Beth.
So?
It's 3 train tickets. And, there's a tourism pamphlet for California.
California?
Well, it makes sense. It's much more progressive there than it is here.
So, Anna and Marcella want to go there to live their love freely.
Anne and Marcella, huh? You 3 are best pals now?
Well, after reading so much of their correspondence, I kind of feel like I know them, you know?
Yeah. But what about Mr. Morgan, though? I mean, Paul. How does he fit into all of this?
I think Marcella hired him. I found some letters Paul wrote to her. He said that her proposition took him by surprise, and that he'd need an advance on his salary.
What did she hire him for? To investigate her own affair?
I'm not sure. I didn't find the letter he was replying to.
And why did he have those pictures of you anyway?
I guess we'll never know for sure, but I don't think it was ever about me.
It's always been about Anne and Marcella.
Exactly.
Well, it feels a tad anticlimactic, but Who needs drama, right?
At least it made our day pretty interesting.
It sure did. You know, after today, I think I get why you're so interested in the lives our guests lead. I try to forget they exist as soon as I'm done interacting with them. But once in a while, it's nice to remember that, well, even the most put-together person could be an absolute mess on the other side of the door.
What about you? Who is Beth Lambert when no one's looking?
I like to think that with me, what you see is what you get. But maybe an extra Snoopy super sleuth could uncover a few more layers. Maybe ones I didn't even know I had.
Challenge accepted.
Come see me when your shift ends, all right? We could leave together if you want.
Sure. If we're able to. With all that snow, I'm thinking maybe we'll have no choice but to spend the night here.
Ooh, a sleepover. We could set up a pillow fort on the mezzanine.
A pillow fort? We do work in a hotel, you know. There are actual beds here.
I know, but isn't my way so much more fun?
Well, we could take a page out of Michael's book and decorate it, and then spend the night throwing stuff at Bernard whenever he comes through the lobby.
Oh, now you're talking.
I just have to finish my tasks for the day, and then I can leave.
Shit, is that Andrew? Oh no.
Mr. Cruz? Mr. Cruz. Oh God. Oh God. Mr. Cruz's life insurance policy. Why did he have this on him? Marcella.
Oh no.
Let's not jump to conclusions.
They didn't. They killed. Did they kill Hector, or did they hire Paul to kill Hector? Oh, that's why he was in Texas. Because there was someone that was going to. Who was it? Mrs. Beaumont. I think she was in Texas, right?
Marcella? Okay, let's not jump to conclusions. Just stop for a second, Sophie. Is this about Paul? Does that mean...
Dear Mr. Cruz, thank you for reporting that guest's unacceptable behavior. We will look into it as soon as possible. However, I regret to inform you that we cannot divulge a guest's personal information regardless of that guest's behavior. As I'm sure you will understand, we are very concerned with our guest's privacy, and our staff prides itself on its discretion. Please contact us should that guest bother you again. Bernard. Okay, it's just that. Probably... Fuck me. When did this turn into a horror game?
Should I hold on to this, maybe? Poor Paul. Lindsay's death really hit him hard. He hasn't been in the best headspace.
Montreal is much bigger than I had expected. Big cities always made me feel lonely, and that feeling was only exacerbated this morning by the fact that everyone around me was speaking a language I could not understand. I bought an English to French dictionary at the train station, but I don't think I'll need it after all. English speakers seem more common in the downtown area, thank God. The hotel is nice. When I arrived, the whole staff was busy getting ready for some big event. It wasn't until I saw Marcella enter the lobby with a flower bouquet that I realized today is Valentine's Day. Hector and her were gone in a flash, and I was left feeling more alone than ever, wishing Lindsay was here with me. Helping Marcella out these past weeks has been a great distraction, but it still hurts so much every time I think about him. I had hoped the pain would have gone by now. I'll probably need a double dose of Miltone to sleep tonight.
So Paul just needed to pass the time while Marcella was away. That's why he was observing us.
Today I wanted to follow Marcella and Hector out of the hotel, but the sidewalks were so packed with people that I started having a panic attack. I tried taking a cab, and that's when I realized I was all out of money. It's been a while since Marcella's last payment, and the hotel room was more expensive than I had anticipated. I couldn't resort to selling the camera, so I decided to pawn my victory medal instead. It was hard letting it go after so many years, and yet it also felt strangely liberating. Maybe it's a sign I shouldn't be holding on to the past so much. To fight boredom until Marcella and Hector's return, I started looking at the hotel staff. I heard Andrew and Beth at the reception desk discussing books and movies. They both seem like nice people. Wish I found the courage to join the conversation. When you look at people all day and they never look back, you start feeling invisible. I noticed that Sophie, the maid in charge of cleaning the 5th floor, seems to share my interest for other people's lives. Maybe I should try talking to her.
Paul was hiding out right here. Did he ever find the person who was sneaking out at night?
He was sneaking out of the room every night. The question has been driving me crazy since my first night at the hotel. So tonight I decided to investigate. I found a hiding spot near the ice machine with a nice view of the whole corridor. My camera's at the ready, but there's been no movement for at least 3 hours and I'm fighting not to fall asleep. No need for Miltone tonight. I thought being a detective would be more exciting. Maybe Marcella's right. Maybe it's time I let go of Mr. Spade.
9:45? So Anne and Marcella met here this morning while I was busy cleaning room 504.
I woke around 9:30 a.m. and realized I had fallen asleep sometime in the early morning. I was about to go back to my room when the guest from room 507 came to sit on one of the chairs close by. She's been there ever since, and I don't dare leave my hiding spot in front of her. Marcella joined the guest from 507 around 9:45. Apparently, she told Hector she didn't love him anymore, and he is now convinced she's been cheating on him. That explains why he assaulted me out of the blue yesterday evening and accused me of having an affair with his wife. The guest from 507, I've learned her name is Anne, has just said she might have an idea on how to solve their problem. I'm thinking of revealing myself, but I don't want to anger Marcella. The longer I wait, the more awkward it will be when I do come out. Maybe I should.
Looks like Paul had to stop writing in a hurry. What happened? I was listening to the radio at the time. Did the music drown out the noise? These look like
Marcella's pearls.
Marcella's pearls. What happened here?
Oof, cause you know the cops are gonna come. And, well, obviously from the beginning. Should we help? Or hide the evidence?
A, B, and Beaumont. I have to get the power back on. It's too big. I guess I'll need something that works.
Let's go.
Thank God. Now, to get the power back. Eugene, what I would give to have you with me right now. Your note will have to make do.
If there's a power outage and I'm busy preventing another part of this hotel from collapsing, here's what to do. Check fuse box plan for required amperage of each socket. Remove all blown fuses from sockets. Tip, brown fuses are usually blackened. Screw in new fuses and sockets. Make sure amperage is correct. Flick big lever to restore power. I think that's... Okay, so yeah, I think those are burnt out. This one's burnt out too. Okay, well, I can't select the others. So, oh, that's what these are.
Yes, this is what I need.
And would you look at that, there just so happen to be the exact amount I needed. Okay, so I need a 15 amp. Ah, fuck, okay.
Power's back. Now I should go down to the lobby. Call the police. Is there anything I've forgotten? Once I leave this floor, I probably won't be able to come back.
Wait, are there no stairs?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Phone. I need a phone.
So I wonder if the outage was due to like this blizzard or that thing, that sign scared the shit out of me.
Montreal Police Service, Station 22.
There's a man dead. He's been murdered. I need the police.
Please stay calm, ma'am. Where are you right now?
The lobby, but the body, it's upstairs.
Can you give me the address, please?
Oh, 1178 Drummond Street.
All right, ma'am. Officers are on their way.
Thank you.
Alright, I feel like I just heard some voices, some noises. Oh, I think it's just, as cliche as it sounds, I think it's just the pipes.
Why does the VIP want to meet with Paul? Maybe he fell for his role-playing and wants to hire him as a private investigator.
Oh, hey you! Great timing, right? I'm thinking if we're lucky, Bernard will let us go home.
No point in working in the dark. Sophie? Bean, you're not scared of the dark, are you? Hey, is everything okay?
I found Mr. Cruz. Hector,
Oh, you did? What was the bloke up to?
you don't understand. I found his body. He's dead, Beth.
Merde. Merde. Sit down, okay? You look like you're about to faint. Have you called the police?
Yeah, they're on their way.
What happened? Was there an accident?
No, I don't think so. Someone did this to him.
You mean... Merde. Do you think it could have been Anne and Marcella?
I found something on Hector that would point to that. Yes.
Wait, so you touched the body? The dead body?
I mean, yes, kind of.
Sophie, rule number 1 when stumbling upon a dead body. Do not touch. It could really get you in trouble. So, what did you find?
There was this letter that made it sound like Marcella would get a lot of money from her husband's death.
Ugh. Throw the affair into the mix and you get a pretty good motive.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm probably going to hell for saying this. Who am I kidding? I'm going to hell anyway. But I can't really blame her if she did it.
I'm not sure I'm following. You can't blame her for murder.
I'm not excusing it. I'm not. Just... women like Anne and Marcella have so few options. It's like the world is designed to keep them apart.
Beth.
Oh, you know. You know. I've been with a woman before. Ziva Rivers. She's a photographer in New York. We were together for a while, and I was so in love. It was like a fire a rain couldn't put out. I guess like anything that intense, it wasn't meant to last. But while it lasted, I was the happiest I've ever been. And if something had come between us, kept us apart, I would have done just about anything to be with her. Maybe that's what happened here with Anne and Marcella.
Thank you. Thank you for trusting me with this.
Maybe now you can understand why I care so much about you. I don't know if I'm feeling inspired by Anne and Marcella, or if it's the shock of being so close to an actual murder, but, I'd really like for us to be more than just friends, Sophie.
I knew it. They are very cute together.
Yeah. I like that too.
That's... That's great. The police is here. Just be mindful of what you tell them, okay?
Yeah, of course.
Also, I did calculations. $10,000 in 1958, granted this is in USD, is roughly $108,964.24 today. I don't know what it would be in Canadian dollars, but I don't know if that's worth killing somebody over.
Miss Roy? Miss Roy? Miss Roy!
Oh, sorry. I was distracted.
I really need you to focus right now. I don't want to be here all night, and I'm sure you don't either.
No, I don't.
So, as I was saying, we're trying to ascertain the circumstances of Mr. Cruz's death. Can you tell me how you came to find the body?
I was cleaning room 509 when I heard the elevator bell ring. again and again and again. I thought maybe a child was playing with the doors, so I went out in the corridor, and that's when I saw him. All the blood and...
Why was the elevator bell ringing?
I'm sorry?
You said you heard the elevator bell ring. Why was it ringing? I assume it wasn't a child after all.
Well, Mr. Cruz's body was preventing the doors from closing.
Really? When we found the body, it wasn't that close to the doors.
Oh, the stairs are blocked because of the renovations, so the elevator's the only way out of the 5th floor. I had no choice but to move the body. Just a little.
Ah, so that explains the traces we found. Thank you for clearing that up. So, what did you do after that?
Well, that's when the power cut. So I had to go to the janitor's closet.
To access the fuse box.
Exactly. I changed a few fuses and turned the power back on.
But there's a lock on that box, isn't there? Did you have the key?
Shit. Do we lie? So if I say I used an ice pick and that was the mode of death, that means I picked up the murder weapon, which implicates me. I also feel like I'm just overthinking this right now. I highly doubt it, but it could just be like, oh, it wasn't locked. You know, Eugene just forgot to lock it that day. But shit. What do we do? Because I mean, like, I feel like I probably still had fuck. What do I do? Because I do want to be with Beth. Okay, fuck it.
No, I didn't. Only Eugene does. But the box wasn't locked.
That was lucky.
Yes. Very.
Did you go near the ice machine at any point today?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am.
So, what did you do after restoring the power?
I took the elevator down to the lobby. That's where I called the police.
Do you remember what you said to the operator? The exact words.
No, I'm afraid I don't.
You said, there's a man dead. He's been murdered.
That's possible.
What makes you so sure it was murder?
Well, seeing how he was dead and there was a lot of blood, plus the bloody hand and feet prints.
I just assumed. What with all the blood. It just didn't look like an accident, you know?
I see. Would you say you're an observant person, Miss Roy?
I think I would, yes.
Good. Then maybe you can help me fill in a few details about this case.
I'll do my best.
Let's start with the victim's wife, Marcella Cruz. Apparently she left in quite a hurry this morning. What can you tell me about her?
I don't really know anything. She just looks like a loving, caring wife.
Really? That's odd, because we learned a lot about Mrs. Cruz when we went through her room. And let's just say that loving, caring wife are not the first words that would come to mind.
Oh?
She's a lesbian, involved in some sordid affair with the guest from room 507, Mrs. Beaumont. Have you ever witnessed them engaging in immoral behavior?
What do you mean?
I'm asking if you've seen them being, intimate.
No, I haven't. No.
And did you hear them discuss their deviant ways in front of Mrs. Beaumont's son, perhaps? Imagine what kind of effect such perversion can have on a young child.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Did you hear them express their hatred of men? Did they ever talk about using violence against men? Did you hear them speak ill of Mr. Cruz?
No, I didn't hear any of that. I'm sorry I can't be of more help.
No, I'm sure you are. But we're not quite done yet, Miss Roy. We've learned from one of your colleagues that the victim had a fight with a guest named Mr. Spade. What can you tell me about him?
Oof. Shit. I feel like if I'm just like, oh, he spent some time at a psychiatric hospital, he'll just be like, oh, how do you know that? Well, if you were snooping around this guest's room, why haven't you snooped around any others? Deny.
I don't know much. Only that he seems nice.
Nice. I wouldn't be so sure.
Oh?
We found out that Mr. Spade is fresh out of a madhouse. When we called the place, they painted quite the picture of him. Did you ever see him display odd behavior in or around the hotel?
No. I mean, we've all got our little quirks, don't we?
Did he seem obsessed with Mrs. Cruz?
A little, maybe, but...
Obsessed enough to kill her husband?
No, nothing like that. We all have our obsessions. Me, for instance. I'm obsessed with celebrities and gossip magazines, and...
You don't seem to understand, Miss Roy. Mr. Spade is not like you and me. He may look like us, but he's not. He's dangerous and needs to be taken off the streets. So tell me, did you ever see him be violent or aggressive?
You're wrong.
I beg your pardon?
He is like us. We all struggle sometimes, some of us more than others, but there's nothing wrong with that.
You may not have noticed, Miss Roy, but neither of us are in an insane asylum right now.
He was brave enough to seek help. That doesn't make him a criminal. That doesn't mean he killed Mr. Cruz.
You know, I'm starting to worry about your own mental state, Miss Roy, since you're so eager to defend...
And I worry about your ability to do your job, Detective, since you seem to be such a...
Enough! One more word. Just one more word, and you'll be spending the rest of your night in a cell. Now get the hell out of here. I've had enough of you.
Yeah, one of the warnings for this game was homophobia, and throughout this entire playthrough I was like, where is the homophobia at? That's exactly where.
Bernard was strangely chipper on the phone. That can't be a good sign. I guess I'll know soon enough. Let's go. The atmosphere is so different in here. Will it ever feel like it used to?
Where am I supposed to go? Can I go past here? Okay.
It'll probably be a while before the hotel reopens.
Ugh, go to hell.
Beth,
Hey,
are you okay?
I'm out of a job. But other than that, yeah, everything's just peachy.
What? No,
I hope you're luckier than I am. Come join me when he's done with you, all right? I'll be questioning my life choices on the mezzanine.
Yeah, okay.
Why would he fire Beth?
Ah, Miss Roy. Come in. I suppose you know why you're here?
I'm not sure, actually. Your phone call was a bit vague.
Yes, well, I prefer to have this conversation in person. We've been getting a lot of press lately, and not the good kind. I wouldn't expect you to understand the position I'm in, but I assure you, it's quite uncomfortable. To have one's life's work blown away like that. All thanks to some sexual deviance and a nut job. It's obvious to me now that I haven't been firm enough. For guests of such morals to be comfortable booking a few nights here and committing such a horrid act? Things need to change. This means elevating our standards to the highest possible level.
No
shit. And it
shit.
starts with the people working here. It starts with you.
With me?
Yes. From what I've heard, You've been quite the exemplary maid lately. Clean rooms, satisfied guests.
I take my job very seriously, sir.
As you should. We'll see for the future, but for now, you'll be allowed to continue working here.
Thank you.
I'm not done. The police have finished their investigation and left a mess on the 5th floor. I want you to clean it up.
You want me to go back there?
Yes, why not?
I found a dead body on that floor. I'm not going back.
I'll make this simple for you. If you don't do it, you're fired.
Ooh. Yeah. This is exactly what this POS gets.
You can't fire me. Because I quit.
Sure. I fire you, you quit. It's all the same to me. Just make sure to empty your locker before the end of the month.
Good luck
That'll be all.
finding replacement staff. Especially in the 50s, there was a murder at a hotel. A lot of prestigious hotels have shut down for less. Oh, but we do have to take care of her
Hey.
mother.
What a week.
Yeah. So, what did Bernard want with you?
Well, he was being kind of a jerk, so I quit.
You what?
I quit. I figured there was no point in staying if you were leaving.
I appreciate the solidarity, but you really didn't have to do that.
I think it's for the best. Did Bernard say why he was firing you?
Ugh. He was going on and on about keeping deviants out of the hotel, so I may have lost my cool a little.
A little?
I told him I was one of those deviants he was so afraid of. He froze for a moment, then showed me the door.
Well, I'm not one bit worried about you. I know you'll be just fine.
Yeah, I do have a cat-like ability to land on my feet.
And think of all the good times you'll have away from Bernard.
I'll miss annoying him. He turns into a particular shade of red that only I can get out of him. But no, you're right. It's time for new challenges. I could see myself owning my own establishment, one that caters to the right kind of crowd. Believe it or not, I do enjoy the company of people, just not, the stuck-up, entitled clientele of this prestigious hotel. But maybe if I were behind the counter of, say, a bar instead of a reception desk. I don't know. Is that silly?
No, it's not. In fact, you'd be perfect for it. You're the most charming person I know.
Thank you. I'm really glad you're in my life.
Me too.
Heck yeah.
Can I,
Kiss me?
yes.
I thought you'd never ask.
That was...
I know.
What do you think will happen to them?
Who?
Sorry, my mind wanders sometimes. I meant Paul, Anne, and Marcella. Do you think they'll be released?
Yeah, I think so. Paul will probably become a famed photographer. His portrait of you will be hanged at the Louvre, entitled The Inconspicuous Maid. It will sell for millions.
Is that so?
Yeah, and Anne and Marcella will ride into the sunset on the back of two Appaloozas, watching over their newly acquired ranch. They'll be constantly followed by their only sheep. They'll call him Paul, for old time's sake.
I like that. I just want them to be happy.
Me too.
Wow. That was a good story. Not 100% sure, but I think that was a good ending. Not sure about the eviction notice or the overdue payments and whatnot. Don't know who that was. I think that might have been Sophie or Sophie's mother. Which, yikes. I did think about her at the very end after I made the choice to quit. But hopefully Beth gave us a job at the bar so we can make a salary there. But yeah, no, I appreciate you sticking with me through the story. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you disliked it, hit that dislike. Please subscribe for more. And that's it. Peace.